Всем привет, с вами Сергей, и сегодня у нас не совсем обычный выпуск. Сегодня мы не будем ничего разбирать. Сегодня я просто почитаю вам свой рассказ на английском языке, на таком, скажем так, простом, адаптированном английском. Если вы уже давно следите за моим творчеством, вы, наверное, знаете, что у меня есть книжка, которая называется «Рассказы на простом английском». Там несколько рассказов, специально написанных для изучающих английский язык. Там простой английский, перевод, комментарии, в общем, чтобы было проще читать. Этот рассказ, который я сейчас прочитаю, в эту книжку не входит, потому что он войдет в одну из будущих моих книжек, над которыми я пока еще работаю. На всякий случай предупреждаю, что рассказы в этом сборнике рассчитаны на взрослых, не на детей. И этот рассказ, который я вам сейчас прочитаю, он тоже не детский. Я прочитаю его без каких-то комментариев, разбора, но с текстом на экране. Итак, готовы? Рассказ называется «Space wants to kill us». Космос хочет нас убить. My name is Ben. I am 42. I live in New York. I work as a science teacher, and I know that space wants to kill me. Well, not me personally, of course. I'm not such an important character. All of us, actually. Space wants to kill us all. See for yourself. Space is anti-human by its nature. There is no air in space. It's cold. There are asteroids, radiation, and who knows what else. You might be surprised I have not mentioned aliens as one of the threats. That's because there are no aliens there. You might say that the universe is infinite, and there's a high possibility that there is some kind of intelligent life in it. I agree, but the possibility that space has already wiped them out is much higher. You see, space is everything. What we call humanity and human history is just a split second compared to what space has been through. The only reason it hasn't killed us yet is that it didn't care yet. But now we make more noise with our radio waves, TV shows transmitted from the satellites, and TikTok videos. Space might swat us like an unknown mosquito. It happened with dinosaurs once, and they didn't even have TikTok. There are many ways space can kill us. Asteroids, sun flares, black holes, things we don't even know exist. One good sun flare might take down the internet, and we are as good as dead. Personally, I'm always trying to look up, just in case. I realize that if I saw an asteroid up there, I wouldn't be able to do anything, but I just can't help it. As a man of science, I have natural curiosity, and I don't want to miss the moment when something kills us all. I want to see it. Unfortunately, I have to agree that ignorance is bliss. Most people don't know that space wants to kill them, and they don't even look up. I often do, and sometimes it causes problems. Once, I was going to work and looked up to see if there were any asteroids there. I noticed a tiny dot in the sky and thought that was an asteroid. I wanted to witness the end of everything and kept looking. Unfortunately, at the same time I knew that I was running late to work and I didn't want Mrs. Broom, the school principal, to scold me again, so I kept walking. Bothered by the two biggest problems in the universe, the end of the world and my attempt not to be scolded, I bumped into a small girl who was eating a strawberry ice cream. She didn't cry when I bumped into her, but she did when her ice cream fell on the ground. Her cry was so loud that I forgot about my cheer problems and tried to comfort her. "Are you crying because of your ice cream?" I said. I never was good with children. I know it's funny considering my profession. "Yes," she said, and cried again. "Don't worry, it's really nothing," I said. "Do you really think so?" She stopped crying. "Sure." I felt encouraged by my successful attempt to calm down a little girl. It's really nothing compared to the asteroid up there that is going to kill us all. Probably shouldn't have mentioned it. Her father heard me. For a second, I thought that the asteroid impacted Earth, but it was his fist impacting my face. My conversation with Mrs. Broom was not so bad. I said that I had been attacked by an angry man on the street, and I was not lying, and surprisingly, she wasn't mean to me. She even offered me a cup of tea. By that time, I had already realized that the dot in the sky hadn't been an asteroid, maybe an airplane or satellite, but she asked me why I hadn't called the police. I said the man hadn't been dangerous. He just had misunderstood my conversation with his daughter. I do believe that we, as teachers, should tell children the truth. This is what we teach them too. So I said that the world was going to die. It turned out that Mrs. Broom had felt so bad about my black eye, she had added some cognac in the tea. I was about to take a sick day anyway. It loosened my tongue, and I told her everything I was thinking about space, asteroids, black holes. I even told her my theory that there had been human-like aliens. They'd already been killed by space, but before that, they had sent out their DNA samples on spaceships. One of them had reached Earth, and here we are, their descendants, talking about how we're going to share our Creator's fate. Long story short, I was suspended. I didn't lose my job though. Mrs. Broom talked with someone and advised me to see a doctor. I do respect fellow scientists, so I had no problem seeing a therapist. The therapist, Mr. Brown, happened to be a nice and understanding person. He too offered me a cup of tea. I asked him if there was any alcohol in it. He said there wasn't. Soon I realized he hadn't had to put any alcohol in my tea to make me speak freely. Usually I don't advertise my knowledge about the end of the world, but this man was so friendly and understanding that I told him everything, including my theory about the sun flares causing all the traffic lights to turn red when I'm driving to work, the reason I'm late to work so often. And then it was his turn to tell me the truth. "You know, Ben," he said smiling, "you have nothing to worry about. Space will not kill us." He told me that our alien ancestors hadn't been wiped out completely. "You are right about the spaceships, but think about who piloted them. They reached Earth too. I mean, we reached it. I have been living here since the beginning, secretly looking after you." To my excitement, the man turned out to be an alien. "We, Humanity 1, don't want you, Humanity 2, to share our tragic fate. I lost my home, my beautiful planet, Middle Narnia. We know exactly how many radio waves and satellites and TikToks you can release without being noticed by space. And you are way below that level, so don't worry, you are safe. And you will always be. I will not let Earth share the fate of Midgard Narnia." "Middle Narnia," I said. "Sure, Middle Narnia." Now I am happy. I have never been so happy before. I am positive that our Humanity 1 friends will not let us attract too much of space's attention. I still look up sometimes though, not because I am afraid of space, no. Since I had been wrong about aliens not existing, who knows, maybe one day I will see a spaceship landing in New York City. На этом все на сегодня. Надеюсь, это видео было для вас полезно и интересно. Если да, не забудьте лайк поставить, подписывайтесь на мой канал и до встречи в следующий раз.